All right, Yankees fans, buckle up because this conversation is about to get serious. We're diving into what could be one of the biggest moves of the offseason, and it's got everything to do with a guy who quietly had a strange, uneven year called Tucker. Now, when you first look at his season line, you'd probably think, yeah, he was fine. An OPS over 800 is nothing to sneeze at, but when you actually break it down, it tells two completely different stories. The first half of his season, straight up MVP numbers. The second half, rough. Like really rough. It was almost like watching two completely different players sharing the same name. Let's rewind to the early months. From April through June, Tucker looked like one of the best hitters in the league. He hit for power, for average, for everything. In April, he was hitting the ball all over the place, batting close to 280 with 7 home runs and nearly 30 runs batted in. That's elite-level stuff. Then in May, he kept it going. Almost 290 average, another handful of homers, double-digit RBIs, and still keeping that OPS flirting with 900. By June, it was ridiculous, hitting over 300, driving the ball to all fields, 5 more home runs, 13 runs batted in, and a near 1,000 OPS. At that point, fans were begging for an extension. They were chanting his name, calling him the future of the franchise. He was that good. Then, right when the hype was building, something changed. Maybe it was an injury, maybe it was fatigue, or maybe it was just one of those slumps that every hitter eventually goes through. But from July onward, the drop-off was drastic. July was a nightmare. He hit barely above 200, the power disappeared, and he just didn't look comfortable at the plate. 1 home run that entire month, an OPS that dipped into the 600s, it was rough to watch. August was a little better, but still not the guy we saw earlier in the season. A mid-200s average, a few home runs, some production, but still miles away from that MVP form. Then September hit, and it got worse. He barely played, dealing with injuries, and when he did, he couldn't make solid contact. It was like his season just ran out of gas. Now, when you look at a year like that, you can't just write it off as bad luck. You have to dig into the details, and that's where things get really interesting. His home and away splits tell a completely different story. At home, he was almost unrecognizable. Wrigley Field was not kind to him. He hit barely above 230 there, just 7 home runs and an OPS in the mid-700s. Respectable, sure, but nowhere near elite. Away from Wrigley, though, completely different player. On the road, he hit close to 300, doubled his home run total, and had an OPS well over 900. That's a superstar on the road, a totally average guy at home. It's night and day, and that's not something you can just ignore. Now, let's talk about fit, because if there's one thing Yankee Stadium is known for, it's that short porch in right field. And that's exactly where Kyle Tucker does his best work. The guy loves pulling the ball to right and right center. A lot of his power comes from that sweet, left-handed swing that sends the ball soaring in that direction. You put him in the Bronx with that setup, and suddenly, those 20-something home runs from last season could easily become 35 or 40. It's just simple math. Wrigley wasn't doing him any favors, but Yankee Stadium? That place was built for a bat like his. He could thrive there, no question. And yes, I know what some fans are thinking, but what about Cody Bellinger? Because let's be honest, Bellinger won hearts last year. The guy played his heart out for the Yankees. He hit for power, drove in runs, and gave the team energy when they needed it most. He's versatile, can play all 3 outfield positions, and even step in at first base when needed. But here's where the conversation gets complicated. As much as we love Cody, when you line up the numbers, Tucker's the better offensive player. His OPS is higher. His OPS plus is higher. His overall consistency at the plate, especially on the road, is just on another level. He might not have that same spark defensively in center, but in terms of pure hitting ability, Tucker is the upgrade. Now, let's not sugarcoat the big elephant in the room, the price tag. Reports say Tucker could be looking for something around $427 million over 10 years. That's an enormous contract. It's superstar money, and the question every Yankees fan has to ask is he worth it? For that kind of cash, you expect production every single season, you expect durability, and you expect someone who can handle the pressure of New York. That's what makes this decision so tough. If it were up to me, and he's dead set on that total number, I'd stretch the years a bit. Make it 12 years instead of 10. Bring that average annual value down from over $40 million to around 35. It's still a massive commitment, but it feels a little more manageable, especially for a player entering his late 20s. Cody Bellinger, on the other hand, probably costs less. Fewer years, less total money, and you already know what you're getting. He fits the team chemistry. He handled New York beautifully, and he's a fan favorite. But the trade-off is that Tucker's ceiling is higher. He's younger, his offensive metrics are superior, and he's shown flashes of being a true MVP caliber bat. The Yankees have to decide if they want the safer, proven option or the potentially elite one who could explode in their ballpark. And honestly, there's a world where both guys could wear pinstripes. It's a long shot, sure, but imagine that lineup. Tucker in left, Bellinger in right, Judge at designated hitter. That's a scary sight for any opposing pitcher. Of course, the defensive puzzle adds another wrinkle. Bellinger isn't the same defender and center that he used to be. The numbers show it, slightly below average in defensive runs saved, not quite as sharp with his reads. He's much stronger in the corners. So, if you keep him, you'd rather see him in left or right. The problem? Judge is already in right, and Stanton's still here for a couple more years. But when Stanton's contract runs out, you can easily shift Judge to designated hitter full-time to keep him healthy, and then let Bellinger lock down right field. That would make perfect sense, but if Tucker enters the picture, maybe you switch things around even earlier. Tucker can handle left field just fine, and that bat is too good to leave off the lineup card. It all comes down to how aggressive the Yankees want to be this winter. Do they go all in on a big, long-term swing with Tucker, betting that his road numbers will translate into monster production at Yankee Stadium? Or do they play it a little safer, keep Bellinger, and rely on what they already know works? Either way, the team needs a solution in center field. Bellinger isn't the long-term answer there, and Tucker isn't either. That's where the younger guys like Dominguez come into play. Let him patrol center, keep Bellinger or Tucker on the corners, and suddenly, that outfield looks balanced, young, powerful, and versatile. And for anyone doubting whether Tucker could handle left field, let's just stop that right now. He can play it. He's athletic enough, reads the ball well, and he's played enough right field that adjusting to left wouldn't be an issue. He's not a gold glove outfielder, but he's solid, and that's all you need when his bat is doing the heavy lifting. When you've got someone capable of hitting close to 300 with 30-plus home runs in the heart of your lineup, you make the positioning work around him. The Yankees have done it before, and they can do it again. That's why, for me, Kyle Tucker just makes sense in the Bronx. The numbers, the swing, the potential, it all lines up perfectly with what this team needs. If you watch the splits closely, you'd see a player that absolutely thrives away from his old ballpark, a player who could explode in a stadium built for his swing path. And honestly, the Yankees can't afford to waste more seasons waiting for everything to click. They need a left-handed power bat, someone who can balance the lineup and protect Judge in the order. Tucker fits that mold better than almost anyone available right now. The price is steep, yes, but sometimes you've got to pay for greatness, especially when it's a guy who's just entering his prime. Now, if we keep digging into Kyle Tucker's profile, there's another layer to this story that makes him such an intriguing option for the Yankees, and it goes beyond just raw stats or the flashy home run totals. It's about consistency in high-leverage situations and the ability to carry a team through stretches where the lineup needs a spark. You see, Tucker's first half of the season wasn't just good in a vacuum. He was putting up MVP-level numbers against some of the toughest pitching in the league, and that's the kind of production that doesn't just happen. It takes timing, it takes pitch recognition, and it takes a mental edge that allows him to maintain focus even when the pressure ramps up. That first half of the season was a statement. He can handle the spotlight, and when he's locked in, he's one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. Of course, no one can ignore the slump in the second half, and that's where the conversation gets tricky. Injuries, fatigue, maybe even mental pressure, all of it combined to derail what should have been a consistent MVP campaign. But here's the thing. The potential is undeniable. If you're the Yankees, you're looking at a player who, when healthy and comfortable, can change the entire complexion of your lineup. It's not just about the power numbers either. His plate discipline, his ability to drive and runs in clutch situations, and his approach on the bases are all factors that make him more than just a long ball hitter. He's a complete offensive package when he's firing on all cylinders. And Yankee Stadium? That's a ballpark that amplifies his strengths in a way that Wrigley never did. The short porch in right, the expansive foul territory, it's tailor-made for a guy who knows how to pull the ball and attack pitchers in their weak spots. Now, comparing him to Cody Bellinger brings another layer to this. Bellinger is a fantastic player, no doubt about it. He's versatile, athletic, and already familiar with New York. He's proven he can handle the pressure. He's proven he can hit in clutch moments. And he's a proven winner in this lineup. But when you start breaking down advanced metrics, the argument shifts toward Tucker as the superior offensive option. OPS, OPS+, power numbers, run production. Tucker has a slight edge in all of them. And let's not forget the age factor. Tucker is just entering the prime of his career. Bellinger is fantastic, but Tucker's ceiling is arguably higher. If you're building a team to compete for the next decade, you're thinking not just about what's good right now, but what could be elite for years to come. Tucker offers that possibility. He's a guy who can hit 35 home runs at Yankee Stadium, drive in 100-plus RBIs, and change the outcome of a game with one swing. That's the kind of player every team dreams of having in the middle of their lineup. And then there's the financial puzzle, which is always part of these discussions. Tucker's potential contract is massive. $427 million over 10 years is the kind of money that forces every general manager to make tough decisions. It's a long-term commitment that carries risk, no doubt. You're betting on health, on consistency, on production, and on the idea that his road splits and current trajectory will continue into the next decade. But there's also a way to manage that risk, stretching the deal over more years to reduce the annual financial burden. That's a strategy that makes sense when you're talking about a player of Tucker's caliber. It's about balancing the potential reward with the manageable risk, something the Yankees have done before when acquiring top-tier talent. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The Bronx is buzzing tonight, and it's not just the usual chatter of late-season speculation. Word has it that the New York Yankees have reportedly made a blockbuster move, signing none other than left-handed powerhouse Kyle Tucker. While the organization has yet to release an official statement, sources close to the team hint that Tucker's arrival could signal a seismic shift in the Yankees lineup, injecting fresh energy and long ball potential into a roster that has long been star-studded but occasionally inconsistent. Tucker, known for his impressive combination of power and plate discipline, has been a standout force in recent seasons. Fans and analysts alike have been watching his trajectory with a mixture of awe and envy, and the mere whisper of his connection to the Bronx has set social media alight. Imagine the possibilities. A left-handed slugger patrolling Yankee Stadium, sending fastballs over the right field wall with the kind of authority that has defined some of the game's most iconic moments. The mere thought is enough to make rival pitchers break into a cold sweat. Inside the club, speculation is rampant. Some insiders suggest that the Yankees front office has been quietly orchestrating this deal for months, eyeing Tucker as the perfect complement to their existing roster of stars. Others hint at a strategic pivot, one aimed at fortifying the lineup for the next postseason run while simultaneously keeping the Yankees' brand synonymous with power and spectacle. Meanwhile, diehard fans have already begun crafting their dream scenarios. Tucker alongside Aaron Judge, both swinging from the left side, a duo capable of terrifying any opposing rotation. Of course, no trade or signing of this magnitude comes without its share of skepticism. Questions swirl about contract length, fit within the clubhouse, and how quickly Tucker could adapt to the bright lights and relentless scrutiny of New York. Yet, even amid the rumors and cautious speculation, excitement is undeniable. The Yankees, a team always chasing glory, may have just added a new headline-grabbing talent. And if the buzz proves true, the Bronx could witness a left-handed power surge unlike anything in recent memory. For now, fans wait, rumors swirl, and the possibility of Kyle Tucker wearing pinstripes has everyone talking. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.